Listener discretion is advised.
Before it became a gentrified hub of high-rise luxury condos and hipster coffee shops, Williamsburg, Brooklyn was the home turf of the Italian mafia.
Oh, nice.
Traces of old-school Italian Williamsburg can still be seen today, as some of the businesses from back in the day have managed to survive the influx of new money and skyrocketing rents. And also my in-laws could have bought a loft in Williamsburg for like $100,000 back in the late 80s, and they did not. And God damn it, Kenny!
You blew it.
Anyway.
He blew it on his sneakers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your New Balances. I hope you're happy.
I hope he has just
His
a
trove of New Balances.
bunch of stock in New Balance.
He's invested enough.
All right, so one such business is the Fortunato Brothers Bakery on Manhattan Avenue in Williamsburg, and I have been there, and it is actually quite delicious.
Mm.
And although several of these old Italian establishments have rumored mafia ties, in the case of this bakery, Fortunato, the rumors are definitely true, to quote Lizzo.
All right.
The owner of the bakery, Mario Fortunato, has been convicted on multiple charges for plotting the 1994 murder of a loan shark named Sabatini Lombardi. Fortunato is also an alleged associate of the Genovese crime family, the oldest and largest of the so-called five families that dominated, and many would say continue to dominate, organized crime in New York. So Fortunato is connected.
I'm sorry, but these names always really make me want like salami or like just spicy sliced deli meats.
Or cannoli from Fortunato Bakery.
From Subway. What's the meat sandwich?
You don't get cannoli at Subway.
No, I don't think they offer that.
No.
The cold cut combo. That's what I want.
There you go. So go get it. Just go eat a yoga mat.
Not even kidding you, I had Jimmy John's for lunch, so I probably don't need Subway now for my second lunch.
Well, there are going to be a lot of names, so get ready to be hungry. And I did draw a map for myself to keep the names straight.
We have it.
Incredible.
I texted it to both of you so you can
I'm
follow.
going to spend the next few minutes ordering Postmates.
Okay.
Because
So
I
Subway.
just realized how hungry I am. No.
So you see Mario Fortunato and Bakery, and then under the wings of the Genovese crime family on the chart.
I see it.
You drew wings.
I know. So I'm very visual.
I know.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
So back in 1994, Fortunato became involved in conspiring to kill Sabatini Lombardi through his friendship with a man named Carmine Polito, who owned Carmine's Pizza in Astoria, Queens. So Mario Fortunato is BFFs with Carmine Polito, Pizza, and Carmine's the gambler.
Got it.
Okay.
The chart tracks.
Yeah.
Carmine Craps, Polito Pizza.
Got it.
But that's one person, but we can remember everything about him from his name.
Love it.
Oh, okay. You're right. That is one person.
Unfortunately for Pizza Polito / Craps Carmine,
Potbelly sandwiches. Yeah.
he was a compulsive gambler and constantly in debt. And it was common for him to fund his addiction by borrowing money from loan sharks such as Sabatini Lombardi, which is
Loaning Lombardi.
loaning Lombardi, and he's a saboteur. He self-sabotages.
Self-saboteurs.
You don't want to be borrowing money to gamble from Italian mafia loan sharks.
No, you don't.
Not a good plan.
Not great.
So when Pizza Polito reached out to Bakery Fortunato, he was already $50,000 in debt to Lombardi and $10,000 in debt to Lombardi's cousin, Michael D'Urso, who goes by the nickname Cookie.
Got it. Oh, I see him on the chart.
No,
okay.
no
There's too many foods. There's too many foods.
I know. Cookie no relation to the bakery.
Got it.
Yeah. Also, his last name, I'm pretty sure, means the bear. So his name is literally Cookie the Bear.
I love that.
Was also thinking bears with Durso.
Mhm.
Durso.
So both of whom were part of the Genovese family. So this is all kind of within the Genovese family. It's not an inter-family conflict. It's an intra-family conflict.
Consult the graph.
Yes.
Okay.
Together, Fortunato and Polito allegedly hatched a plan to take out the two men. They lured them to the San Giuseppe Social Club on Graham Avenue to play an Italian card game called Ladder 40. And can you just fucking picture this? It is so good.
Shoots and ladders.
Yeah,
Love.
shoots and Italian ladders. It's 1994, and everybody is Italian at cafes.
Fucking shoots and ladders.
yeah. Shoots and ladders. So here, as planned, the group was ambushed in the early hours of the morning by a team of 3 hitmen who shot and killed Sabatini Lombardi and injured Cookie. Cookie the Bear.
Okay.
Immediately after the shootings, Polito and Fortunato ran out of the club along with the hitmen. So they weren't hurt, and they fled with the hitmen.
Okay.
So they organized it.
It's pretty fucking clear that they organized it.
To get out of his debt.
Right, to get Carmine out of his craps debt.
Got it.
So the hitmen drove the car. They had arrived into an impound yard in Greenpoint, where they abandoned it. Polito then picked them up and drove them to a diner in Queens for breakfast, which is just so great.
And a quick stop at Kenyon Lang's wedding hashtags and family reunion t-shirt and Paria.
This is very Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Fortunato, on the other hand, simply walked home from the crime scene. And I checked, and it's roughly a 2-mile walk from Greenpoint to Williamsburg.
Well, he got to cool off.
Yeah, and then he got to walk off the cannolis, and then he went to bed.
Got it.
Fortunato was questioned later that same morning, though, by NYPD detectives investigating the shooting. And he told them that he'd been there that night playing Ladders 40, but claimed he'd gone home hours before the shooting occurred and knew nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hours? It's like Monopoly. It takes all night.
I don't know. They're all hanging out.
Yeah.
But after he learned that Cookie, the bear, had survived the attack, Fortunato admitted to detectives that he had been there the whole night because the guy who was shot and survived was like, nah, he was fucking there.
Yeah, I saw him.
Mm-hmm. And
It.
changed his story to now say that he had not seen the faces of the men who fired the shots. So Fortunato was like, okay, fine, I was there. People came and shot, but I don't know who the fuck they were. And then I just ran away because I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
He would stick with this second story for years, insisting that he had been there but had no idea who shot Lombardi and Cookie or why. In the course of the investigation, Cookie the bear became a government snitch.
Okay.
Ooh, cookie flip.
Cookie flipped.
Got to. You got to protect your neck.
Mhm.
Don't flip your cookies.
Also, he was the victim here of an attempted hit.
Yeah.
Within his own crime family.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably was like, fuck these people.
Sure.
Yeah.
But not before making 2 failed attempts on Carmine's life in revenge for the shooting. So first he tried to get his own revenge.
Okay.
So Cookie the bear described to authorities how there had been...
Cookie the bear.
I'm just making it up.
I love Cookie the bear.
There had been
really
bad
cute.
blood between his family and Mario Fortunato for years. He stated in one interview that, quote, since I was a kid, I used to watch Mario abuse my father. He'd belittle him at the card table. He'd put a chair next to my father, get on the chair, and fart on his head.
Oh, my.
What?
Hey, if it works, it works. Been doing it for years to get what I want.
That was the abuse? Okay.
A violent Dutch oven.
It would
Dutch
be...
oven.
it could
Works
be
for bakeries.
really, really rude and mean and belittling, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
he
it's
probably
nasty.
is a huge dick.
I mean, it's gross for sure.
But, like, to do it to somebody that you know they can't, like, say anything back to you because you're higher up the ladder's 40 than they are in the
That's
mafia.
true.
That's, like, a really mean fucking thing to do. Also, look on the drive. There are photos of Mario Fortunato, and he just looks like... He looks like the Italian male version of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh!
He just, like, look at this man. He's so small.
His little glasses.
Cute. His ears are huge.
You know what? He looks scarier in the second photo with the cigarette.
Yeah. Where he's pointing.
I take
Oh,
it back.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Mario.
Still enormous
I'm sorry,
ears.
I'm sorry, So, Cookie the Bear began wearing a hidden recording device in his Rolex, helping the feds gather a massive amount of evidence against the Genovese family.
In his Rolex.
Mm-hmm. His aid as an informant eventually led to more than 70 arrests, including that of the family boss at the time, a man named Vincent the Chin Gigante.
Is it because his
Jesus.
chin
Giant
is
chin.
gigante? I
don't know.
Is there
like
a photo
the very
on the drive?
literal nickname.
Yeah.
The chin.
The giant chin.
I don't know. The chin might be like it might not be so literal. Oh no, he does have quite a chin.
Is he on the drive?
No, not yet. I'll add him to the drive. It might just be like he can take it on the chin. You know, it might be more like proverbial. I don't know.
He's tough.
He looks rough. So anyway, as well as Fortunato and Carmine Polito for the murder of Sabatini Lombardi. By this time, it was 2002, almost a decade after the shooting had taken place. Upon his arrest, Mario Fortunato stuck to his story that he had been there playing cards that night but had not seen who fired the shots. Fortunato finally went to trial in 2003. The shooting took place in 1994.
Wow.
And Cookie the Bear testified that they had been targeted that night so that Carmine Polito could avoid paying his debts. Both Fortunato and Polito were convicted of the murder in federal court, as well as on various racketeering charges and obstruction of justice. So, like, lying to the FBI. And
Sure.
also, like, standard practice of, like, attempting to influence the testimony of two grand jury witnesses. Like, no
that
big deal.
old chestnut.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. As you do. However, the convictions were overturned on appeal.
Of course.
A judge ruled that the case should not have been prosecuted in federal court because the hit on, on Sabatini.
Consult the chart.
Lombardi died. The hit on Sabatini Lombardi, which was successful, and the attempted one on Cookie, was the result of a personal grudge and not related to a larger organized crime conspiracy. They were just like, nah, they're just fucking killing each other
For
over
funsies.
this personal debt.
Right.
But it's not like
It's not a federal case.
it's not like an organized crime case. It's just a homicide.
Wow.
Wow.
So the duo was then re-indicted in state court, and this time one of the hitmen also testified at trial. I don't know how they fucking found the hitman. So Anthony Bruno described to the jurors how he, quote, nervously paced back and forth with a .38 tucked into his waist, end quote, trying to work up the courage to carry out the hit that he had been hired for. And when you're trying to carry out a hit, you've been hired by mobsters to kill other mobsters, that's got to be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. High pressure situation.
Quote, I'm combing my hair in the club's mirror and I just said to myself, screw it. I turned around and pulled my gun out and shot Mike, the cookie, in the back of the head. I pulled the trigger and I saw Mike's hair split as the bullet went in.
Oh.
There is a lot of tension on your scalp skin,
Okay,
though.
yep.
Splits easily.
Okay.
As we know from the staircase.
Much like a drum.
It does. It splits like a drum.
So prosecutors argued that Carmine Polito had planned the murder, quote, as a means of escaping his gambling debts, whereas Fortunato had helped him in order to, quote, avenge a long-standing grudge, just because he didn't like these other two and because he was Carmine's friend. Ultimately, a jury acquitted Carmine, but Fortunato, who had requested that a judge decide his case instead of a jury, was convicted of second-degree murder for his role in planning and covering up the hit. So that'll show him to help out a friend.
Yeah. Never help a friend. Yep.
But again, his conviction was overturned on appeal.
Dang, they just can't keep him.
No, he's a slippery little fucker.
Yeah.
And then, in 2014, Fortunato won a $300,000 settlement from the state of New York after filing a lawsuit claiming that he was unjustly convicted and jailed because he'd spent 22 months in prison between the first conviction and when his second conviction was overturned.
Come on.
So he won $300,000.
He's making money.
Yeah.
He's making money.
Yeah. As the New York Daily News so eloquently put it, bakery owner Fortunato was now, quote, rolling in the cannolis.
No.
Oh,
God.
They're rolled.
They're rolled.
Yeah, I get it.
And rolling.
Did you hear my joke?
Did
I cut out?
Did you hear it?
Did you hear it?
Ironically, though, Cookie the bear, who still has bullet fragments in his neck from the attempt on his life, stated in an interview after learning of the settlement, quote, "I'm shocked. It's a complete disgrace. I lived. My cousin died. My cousin Tino's wife," which I guess that's what they called, Sabatini. God, sorry. So Sabatini went by Tino.
Consult the chart.
Consult the chart. The chart is extremely helpful, is it not?
I know.
It is.
My cousin Tino's wife, his mother, his children, they went through torture. For them to have to see Fortunato on the street every day, my heart bleeds for them.
Yeah.
And he does. He's just like out. He's pretty famous. Like that bakery is very famous.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, "Me, I don't give a fuck about him, but for my family, it's heartbreaking."
Yeah.
To this day, Mario Fortunato continues to own and operate the Fortunato Brothers Bakery. Most recently, the bakery was back in the news in 2015 after a woman named Valerie Williams, who has cerebral palsy and uses a wheelchair, made a short-lived attempt to sue the bakery for failing to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act by not providing a ramp entrance.
You know, that sucks. That might not be a fight worth picking.
Well, Williams' lawyer soon dropped the case, however, for fear of mafia retribution.
Yeah, that's
like
so
she definitely
fucked up.
didn't know that this was like a connected bakery. She just was like, this place has been around since the 70s. It should have a fucking ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And it should have a fucking ramp.
Yeah, I think that is a fight worth picking.
Well,
some places are grandfathered in certain zoning issues and whatever. I'm not saying that it's right.
No,
obviously,
you meant it's not a fight worth picking because of the personal...
Because of the mafia.
Right, exactly.
That's what I meant.
The personal risk.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which is what she also came to decide. So Williams told the Daily News, quote, "I used to make a joke about the men standing outside the bakery. I called them the Godfathers."
Little did she know!
She didn't fucking
Literally.
know.
Oh, no.
Oh.
You know, you see a bunch of old Italian men in Brooklyn and you're like, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So
But actually,
maybe don't sue them. According to one source, the Genovese, some people say Genovese, but I say Genovese, crime family has retained its power throughout the years by strictly following omerta, a code of secrecy and non-cooperation with law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it is somewhat common for mobsters to turn informant, only 10 members of this family, including Michael the Cookie the Bear, have done so in the group's entire known history, which stretches back to 1931.
The loyalty.
Wow.
Yeah.
The fear.
Yeah.
The fear.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I love a mafia bakery.
And then one of the headlines in the Post, the New York Post, was "Mob Baker Killed Man for Dough."
Oh, wow.
It all was over a bunch of dough.
Yeah.
A bunch of dough.
So that's my case.
Nice.
And then there are just like a bunch of pictures of cannoli. It's really good.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
There you go.
Nice work.
Well done.
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah, these photos are amazing.
Do want a pastry.
Right? The display case is really like sending me to the moon with hunger.
It's selling.
Is that a cake surrounded by meatballs? Because I need it to be.
Is it?
I mean, it's not. I think those are like little cinnamon balls, but they they
looks
kind of
like something
look like
rolled in
meatballs.
nuts.
There was another photo of a cake that was made to look like a pizza, which was very cute.
Well, I sure hope you liked that clip. If you did like that clip, make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, leaving us a nice review, and joining us on Patreon for even more video content, audio content, salacious content all around. Come join us. Treat yourself.